The feud between ODM's Edwin Sifuna and Junet Mohammed turns ugly as the two almost go physical in Karen. Welcome to Kenya Lens Media, where you get news updates as they break, and kindly consider subscribing if you are new here. Now, a high-level reconciliation effort inside Orange Democratic Movement nearly collapsed after Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna and Suna East MP Junet Mohammed reportedly engaged in a heated confrontation that almost turned physical. The tense exchange occurred during the closed-door meeting in Karen on Friday, February 13, 2026, exposing the depth of internal divisions within one of the Kenya's most influential political parties. The meeting had been convened to calm rising tensions ahead of the National Delegates Convention, but instead it underscored the fragile state of party unity and raised fresh questions about ODM's ability to manage its internal disputes at a politically sensitive moment. According to individuals familiar with the proceedings, the current session was intended to bring together senior ODM figures to resolve the simmering disagreements that have been quietly building for months. The gathering was part of the broader push by the party leadership to project stability as the party navigates shifting national alliances. However, discussions reportedly grew increasingly heated as rival factions clashed over key issues. Witnesses indicated that the verbal exchange between Sifuna and Junet intensified rapidly, forcing other leaders to present themselves and intervene and separate the two before the confrontation escalated further. The near-physical altercation shocked some insiders who had hoped the meeting would mark a turning point towards reconciliation. At the point of the dispute are long-running disagreements over ODM's internal management and strategic direction following the 2022 general election. Party insiders say tensions have been fueled by accusations and counter-accusations related to campaign financing, leadership authority, and the handling of party structures. One particularly sensitive issue involves claims surrounding the purported removal of Sifuna from position as the Secretary General of the ODM party, an issue that has generated confusion and competing narratives within the party. While ODM leadership has sought to downplay the controversy publicly, the matter continues to fuel mistrust among the key figures. Sources suggest that the current meeting exposed just how unresolved these issues remain. The dispute has also been complicated by claims of outside political interference, and during the closed-door discussions, disagreements reportedly touched on alleged links involving former President Uhuru Kenyatta. While no formal evidence has been presented publicly, the mere suggestion of external influence has heightened the suspicion within ODM ranks. Political observers know that such claims often deepen factional divides because they frame internal disagreements as part of the broader power struggle. And for ODM, which has historically prided itself on strong party discipline, the perception of outside meddling could further strain already fragile relationships among senior leaders. The confrontation comes at a critical period for ODM as it prepares for upcoming party decisions and broader national political realignments. The National Executive Committee meeting, which the current session was meant to precede, is expected to address key organizational and strategic questions. Analysts say that visible disunity at the top could also weaken the party's negotiating power in future coalition talks and undermine grassroots confidence. ODM has recently been working to treasure supporters of its stability and relevance, particularly after debates over its cooperation with the current administration. Any perception of leadership chaos risks complicating that message. Notably, neither Sifuna nor Junet has issued a detailed public statement addressing the reported confrontation, and the silence has left room for speculation, with the party supporters and political observers closely watching for signs of either reconciliation or further escalation. Within ODM circles, however, the incident has reportedly triggered fresh concern about the party's internal cohesion. Some insiders fear that unless the disputes are managed carefully, they could spill further into public domain and manage the party's image. Political parties in Kenya have historically suffered when the internal disagreements become highly visible, often leading to factional breakaways or weakened electoral performance. The standoff between two senior ODM figures highlights the delicate balancing act facing the party's leadership. ODM remains a major force in Kenya politics, but its influence depends heavily on maintaining unity among its top ranks. If the rift widens, it could reshape internal power dynamics and potentially affect the party's alliances at the national level. Analysts note that modern Kenyan politics often hinges on coalition building, where internal party stability is a key bargaining asset. There is also the question of generational and strategic differences between ODM. Some factions favor a more pragmatic engagement with the current government, while others prefer a stronger opposition posture, though not always publicly stated. These differences appear to be contributing to the underlying tension. The current incident did not emerge in isolation. Over the past year, ODM has experienced a growing internal debate over its political direction, leadership roles, and further strategy. Public statements from various party figures have occasionally revealed subtle disagreements, even as the leadership has attempted to maintain a unified front. The near clash between Sifuna and Junet suggests that these tensions may be deeper than previously acknowledged. Historically, ODM has weathered internal storms through negotiation and power-sharing arrangements. Whether that formula will work again remains an open question. Attention now turns to the upcoming NEC meeting and whether party leadership can contain the fallout from the current meeting. Key indicators will include whether disciplinary processes are initiated, whether public messaging shifts, and whether senior figures appear together in subsequent events. Political analysts say ODM's immediate priority will likely be damage control, both internally and in the public arena. The party must reassure supporters that it remains focused and cohesive while quietly managing factional grievances. Failure to do so, it could embolden rivals and create opening for political competitors ahead of the future elections. The reported confrontation between Edwin Sifuna and Junet Mohammed is more than an isolated clash of personalities. It reflects deeper structural tensions between ODM at a time when the party is navigating complex political terrain. If managed effectively, the incident could serve as a wake-up call that prompts stronger internal dialogue and clearer leadership structures. But if mishandled, it risks exposing fractures that could weaken one of the Kenya's most influential political movements. For supporters and observers alike, the issue is not the heated exchange itself, but what it reveals about ODM's internal stability. In Kenya's coalition-driven political environment, parties that appear divided often lose strategic leverage and public confidence. As ODM approaches critical organizational decisions, its ability to restore trust among senior figures will likely determine whether the party emerges strengthened or future strained in the months ahead. That's all for today from Kenya Lens Media, and kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel as a way of motivating us and helping us give you content from Kenya and beyond.